Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, September 30th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So give me a few moments to finish setting up this room, and then we'll get started with our analysis for this morning. So I think we have pretty much the same overall bias. We'll take a look at that as well. Still looking like sells today, but we'll confirm that, and we'll see what's going on overall in the market. So let me see, got a few more things here to update. Got that. That's good. That's good. Got that updated on one last thing here, and I think we should be good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, solid. It's good. Update this right here. All right, solid. So I'll give it a few minutes for people to make their way in. As people join into the room, I'm going to go ahead and mark up areas for the K2 SR zones here. It's good. Hey, Kenny, morning. All right, let me get this going right here. So we had a lot of small zones here. We have like one big zone, and we have a lot of small zones within. So we'll obviously we'll see where that goes. A little adjustment here. Actually, that one's fine. I guess I'll make it a little lower. All right, so the zones look good right here. I'll give a few more moments for people to make their way in. Let's see who's here right now. Morning, Peter. Morning, Patricia. Morning, everybody. So happy Friday, everybody. Today is Friday, September 30th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So with that, so let's take a look if there was any news this morning. I can't remember if there was news for today. I'm pretty sure there was, though. There's news all week. So we had news this morning at 5:30 with core PCE price index, personal spending, which was positive. So 5:30 a.m. we had news. I'm gonna mark that up right here. Huge spike down from that news right there. This was US news, 5:30. US news, and it was negative, right? So we had negative news right there. Price, I mean, it was positive. It was positive news, and price just came tumbling down super heavily. So huge drop right there. Price did the opposite of news as anticipated. We have more news coming up right here. We had another. So Fed member Brainerd starts speaking at 6 o'clock. I'm not going to mark that up, but we'll leave it on right there. 6:45, we have Chicago PMI. We got news over here at 6:45. Color that red. And we have more news at 7, revised UOM consumer sentiment. So we got a lot of news events today. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. I actually like news because it causes price to move around. So it'll push price around. We can catch the correction. We can catch the continuation. It just depends on like where price is currently at. But I do like news price. The only thing that I don't like is when there's too much news price that's like spread out creates like a lot of red flags that are all over the place. If they're in one location, that's perfectly fine. But if they're spread out, that's what I don't like. So I like when there's news because it pushes price around. However, I don't like news when it causes too many red flags in areas where we can possibly take trades. So we'll see what happens. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. First news event's at 6:45. Next is at 7 o'clock. And we'll see where that takes us. Other than that, that's it for the news today. Let me check my FX book to see if there's anything else here that I might be missing. 6:45, 7, and then at 8 we have Bowman speaking, Fed Bowman. So we have a lot of news today, a lot of news, which could be a good thing and a bad thing, or it can be both, right? Together. So let's see who else is here. Let's see, let me scroll up real quick. Morning, Marco. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Jamie. Morning, Patrick. Happy Friday to you as well. Morning, sir, and morning, everybody. So it is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. Let's take a look at the overall bias for today. Retail sentiment is currently 69% long, indicating that 69% of retail traders are currently buying. So you want to do the opposite and sell. Looking over here at the futures data is currently 43 points in the red. So with that said, we have a decently bearish bias for today. If this drops below 100 points, we'll have a strong bearish bias. Looking over here at the heat map, let's refresh this. Heat map is currently, pretty mixed right now, but it looks like it's going to stay more red as price continues to drop lower. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, for the most part, we have a bearish bias right now. Bearish bias long term, bearish bias short term. On the short term right here, this is bearish as well, because price is below the pivots. Pivots are angling down, red pivots over green. And lastly, the trend meter is currently red as well. So overall, we're looking for a sell today, short term and long term. Let's see. We have a sessions right here. This is the Asia high. New York highs up here. Asia lows right here. Nice allergies. Morning, Jonathan. So yeah, looking over here at the sessions, we have the Asia high up here, Asia low down here. We have a couple London lows and New York lows down here as well. So if price continues to drop lower, we'll see where this takes us. But price is currently within a zone right now. Market is opening in about 30 seconds. When the market opens, we'll see where price is likely to go. If I see a breakout entry, I'll mark it up. I'll let you know if I'm taking it or if I'm taking partial move. If I am taking it, I'm probably going to take a partial move. I'm probably not taking the full move of it, but I will let you guys know. So for the most part, I'm probably not going to take it because it is Friday and it's a bit risky. Yesterday was a good day though for the breakout. Today might be a good day as well. If I do look for a breakout, it's probably going to be for a sell. If it's a buy, probably not going to take it, but I will look and see how it looks. If it looks really good, then yeah, maybe I'll take it for a partial move. Maybe just for a couple. Actually, we might not even take it because the sessions are like right here. Both of them actually. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm for sure not going to take it, but if I do see the breakout, I'll mark it up. But it looks like it's going to be too close to the sessions down here where we won't have enough room to actually take it comfortably. All right, here we go. Market is now open, guys. I'm going to go and mark up opening price right here. So this is New York open. If price pushes up right here, we can possibly anticipate a possible back to open, right? So this right here would technically be the breakout. I'm not looking for any buys, as I mentioned before. So this is technically the breakout. If you guys do want to follow it, I'm probably not going to take it because the bias is so strong for a sell that I think this is just a fake out. I think this is a temporary push up and it's going to come right back down. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said using the confluence list, it'll be a sell. Exactly, Maddie. So I'm not looking for it to take the buy here. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take this trade here. So if you guys want to take it at your own risk. However, I don't recommend it at all. I do think price is going to come down and break below even further. So this is kind of what I see happening. If price comes down and it hits the stop loss right here for the would-be breakout that we wouldn't be taking because it doesn't fit all the requirements. This is just a breakout following without the confluences, right? Without following the bias. And you guys remember that. Let me see if I can find the confluence list. There we go. So using the confluence list here, you'd have to check the overall bias, current trend, high-low continuation, overlapping, high-low candle reversal. If price drops below the stop loss here, I think price will come back to open. So that's going to be like my guess right here. If it does break below that point, because you're typically identifying the opposite, right? So whoever's looking for a buy here, you're probably going to look for the opposite for it to drop for a sell. So my guess is that price is going to come below here. I'm anticipating to possibly take a speculative sell here and maybe lock in a quick profit, which I did. There we go. So this isn't going to be an official move, guys, but this is just going with my analysis. As I talked to you guys before, I'm going to start taking trades on my own off my analysis. I did tell you guys that if price breaks below this point, target price point is going to be opening price, right? And that's why I took this for a quick little speculative move for 100 pips right there. As soon as price broke below, I went for 100 pips, came down, tested the target price point that I anticipated to go to, and I made a quick profit. It's not going to count as an official trade, obviously, because I didn't tell you guys about the trade. I just took it off my bias right there and off my intuition because I didn't think price was going to come back below. Hit it, full TP, locked in 1,100 off that trade there. So just a quick profit there for myself. If you guys just listen to my analysis, you guys will be able to pick up on this stuff, right? Huge slippage on my FTMO. Wow. My main account, I made 1,110. My FTMO copy, I made 1,760. My TFF, I made 1,870. That's crazy slippage right there, but it worked in my favor. So let me take a screenshot of that real quick. Jeez, slippage right there, but it did work in my favor. All right, so if you guys are listening to my analysis, you guys will know what trades I'm taking, right? Obviously, the official trades I'm taking are going to be the K2 SR rejection entries, but those are the only ones that I'm going to be calling as official trades. I'm going to be taking these speculative moves here as well as price moves along. There's another entry right here for a possible sell off K2 SR, but I think it might be too close to. Actually, I mean, you'd be fine if this closes as a moderate red candle, possible entry right there. About 20 seconds left on it. Looks like the candle might be a little too big though, so you might have to hold off on it. Yeah, candle's way too big. So unfortunately, no entry here. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take it, obviously. Yeah, it's just a little too big. You can see the wick over here is higher than the stop loss. So I wouldn't want to get caught in that. Would have hit full TP though. All right. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to push away from or create some zones down here, or price even to go up. There was an entry right there that I marked up. I didn't take this one though because the candle was just a little too big. Unfortunately, it would have hit full TP right there, but it's all good. So. All right, that's good. All right, so I'm just going to post up my profits off that sell that I took earlier. So there's my main account, 1,100, FTMO copy, 1,700, TFF, MFF. Okay, so here goes price drops in the direction of our bias. We already knew price was going to drop today because we already have a sell bias pretty much from earlier this morning. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go on the higher time frames to identify other zones below here, because obviously there's no zones right now that we can use. So let me go here on the 10. So sessions real quick. So let's see, there's one right here. I'm going to color the lighter blue. I'm just marking this up so that we can have an idea where possible zones are. I'm not going to use them, but I'm just going to see if there's any possible areas right there. The problem with this here is that it's right at the sessions, just like I was mentioning earlier. It's not a good area to trade because we do have sessions, or we have a session right here. We also have a session right here as well. If there was no session here, this could have been a possible entry for a sell. So that could have been a possible entry, full TP again right there. Yeah, so that one just hit. Looks like there's another one right here right next to it. So it's unfortunately it's right at the sessions, which is like the biggest red flag that we don't want to trade at, right? So here are my profits for that trade that I took earlier. The one that I basically gave my analysis for. Not an official trade, but profit that I took because I knew price was going to come back to open since we had a sell entry. Let me check real quick. So let me see. Yeah, so here's my profits that I made off that trade right there. Let's scroll down real quick. Here's my main account. You can see the green strip. So this is my main FTMO. I locked in 1,110. Here's my FTMO copier. There's some slippage there in my favor. Locked in a total of 1,760. Here's my TFF account. Locked in 1,900. And then here's my MFF account. They all locked in the same. 1,260, 1,260, and 1,260. I put the same TP for all of these, but I don't, for some reason it huge slippage across all the accounts. So I'm not gonna complain about it. I'll take the extra profit. Take that real quick. So as you guys can see, my personal account isn't on here anymore. My Hugo's way. I'm just taking XRP trades on that. I accidentally moved my stop loss a little too close yesterday on my XRP. I was up pretty heavily. Let me see if I could find it over here. But I was up pretty heavy yesterday. I was up almost 1,000. So I almost like 3x my account because it was just like 400 bucks in that account since I was transferring money over. Well, let me see if I could show you guys real quick. So I was transferring money over to my Hanko trade account, and I was up like 615 last night. So the account was like at 400, and it went up to like upwards to 1,500, and then it came right back down, and then it actually closed me out at like 480 or something, or 500 bucks, because I put my stop loss a little too close as I was trailing it up. So this is my personal account. I'm not really using it for US30 anymore. It just doesn't make sense because there's not enough money in the account to make a big impact. I'm just using it to buy XRP. So whenever XRP dips, I just buy and I hold it for a while. And I caught it for a big move. So I entered right here at when price came down and retested the structure, and I caught it as it shot up. So made a pretty nice profit off that. I'm probably going to redip into it when price comes back lower. So that's the reason why you guys are not seeing my personal account on here anymore, because I'm only using that for my long-term XRP trades. I started up a Hanko trade account for more US30 personal trading, but I'm waiting for my Bitcoin to clear so that I can deposit into that account. Minimum deposit on that broker is like 1,000, so I'm depositing like 2,000. They've only cleared like about 800 of it, so I can't put it in yet. Anyways, prices over here swinging right back up. This is perfectly fine as price swings up like this, because we want price to push away so that we have opportunity to take more trades as price continues to come back below. Trend meter is still red, so we're still looking for a sell here. Looking over here at the overall bias here is still very strong for a sell as well. Currently 70% long, so more people are starting to buy the dip. Looking over here at the fundamentals for today, fundamentals are still down 63 points, so they're still pretty bearish for the most part. They're not very strong for a bearish bias, but there is a bearish bias. It's basically a bearish neutral bias. Looking over at the news, I don't think there's any other news here at the moment. But yeah, looks pretty mixed across the indices. So the Dow is down 57 points, S&P is down 4 points, Nasdaq's up 2 points, but they're just right down the middle. So for now, I'm just going to wait and see where price goes. I'm going to go ahead and go to the 5 minute, see if there's any zones around here. So this aligns with the 5 minute zone. I'll delete these down here unless we need them in the future. Back to the 1 minute. And we also have news coming up here shortly. So let me go here real quick. So Al over here posted his profits. He's currently up 3,895. Nice work, Al. Solid profits right there. There. Maddie over here just posted his profits as well. Currently up 1,210. Nice work, Maddie. Solid. Maddie took the sell over here off SPX as well. Nice. All right, not bad at all. Let's see what else you got over here. I think that's it for right now. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to post them up. Valentine over here also posted his profits. He's currently up 6,175 for the day. Nice work, Valentine. All wins, no losses. He traded in the direction of the buys for a sell here and locked in some pretty good profits so far. So not bad, guys. You guys are doing pretty good so far for Friday. Overall, if you guys are just trading off my analysis, pretty solid. As price bounces around opening price and sessions down there, I'm going to go here to the clean chart. I'm going to mark up market structure so that you guys can kind of have an idea as to where price is going. So it looks like price just established a range right now, which is fine. So range is right there. One thing I'm going to draw up here as well is the times so that you guys can see how market is moving. So here's London session. basically from 12 up until 6:30. Overlaps with US, 6:30 to 8. As you guys can see right here, the price isn't moving as directional as yesterday, right? Yesterday, price dropped below opening price, came back up, then it dropped lower. That was a smooth move in the market. Today, price is back to this range. And this is why I was inclined to be cautious about taking, all the other trades. So I'm still looking for the K2 SR rejection entries because price is still consolidating right here. Price is actually in a range right now, right here. So this is a big range. And this is the range within the range, right? So there's basically two ranges right here. The big range from when market opened up until the smaller range where price is starting to consolidate within. So there's not really much direction over here for today, unfortunately. We have news coming up right now, or it just passed actually 6:45. Let me check the news real quick to see if it was positive or negative. News for today at 6:45 was negative as anticipated. So negative news right here, 6:45. I'm gonna mark that up. And of course, price went up, right? Typical. So 6:45 US news, negative. And I'm fine with where price is currently at, or where it was at, because it's right next to the sessions right here. So here we go. As price begins to drop lower again, I'm going to go in these higher time frames to identify zones below here because we don't have any zones nearby. So we have one zone right here. And then we have one zone right here. I mean, either way, it's going to be difficult for us to take trades around here because there's sessions right at every area right here. So it's right at the London low right here. You can see how price is being manipulated as price gets near it. So if price wicks off it, one of two things will happen. Price will either swing back up for correction, or it's going to break below and continue dropping. Whenever you take trades right here where price is literally at the sessions, you have a 50-50% chance. So it's not necessarily a good trade to take because you can't really be sure. So here goes, price bounces around this area. You can see where the wick rejected directly off the sessions right there, that red line, right? These are no trade areas. So if you guys are new here, if you guys are not familiar with it, these are areas that we don't trade because you can see how price gets manipulated right here, right? Price came below, faked out, came right back up. Price came back to this horizontal line, faked out, came right back below. Came back right here, faked out again here, and it swung right back up. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to catch the proper direction. You're basically flipping a coin when you're trading right here at these horizontal lines. So this is the London low from last night. This is the Asia low right here. Again, another area of possible manipulation. So if you guys just look at these certain lines. So when price came below here, price could have gone either way. It dropped back below here. From this point, price could have gone either way. From here, it faked out, swung right back up, and it does the same thing over and over again, right? So it's kind of easy to see if you guys have these tools on your chart because you'll know exactly where not to trade. And if you go over here to the clean chart, you'll see that price realistically is just ranging between those price points. So if I turn on the sessions right here, you guys can see exactly where price is bouncing around, right? Right here. Check the proper tool right here. I don't know why this thing doesn't turn. Right there. Right there. And right there and below. So it's just going to keep bouncing around this area over here. As you guys can see, this is a clean chart. The high lows are pretty distinctive. If price continues to move tighter and tighter around this area, then the zones are just going to it's just going to start squeezing even more. So it's currently here before, now it's getting a little tighter. because we're getting a closer low right here. So as price starts to squeeze, that only means one thing: price is going to break out at some point, right? Which is fine. I actually want price to break out so that we can get away from all these sessions right here. There's too many sessions around this area, and we obviously want to be away from it so that we can take trades, because either way, we can't take any trades here at opening price, news price, or the sessions. But you can use these as markers. So for example, right here, we have a green momentum, right? Target price point is opening price. If price breaks above this point, the next target price point is going to be up here, the Asia high, because that's the next red flag, unless we get news price at some point in the middle. So we'll see where this goes. Trend meter is still red though, so it's not really going to make a big difference at all. We also have news here at 7 o'clock. I'm hoping one of these news events is going to push price around like a bit heavier so that we can take trades outside of these sessions here. But at the moment, there's nothing for us to follow right now per se. But you can see that each signal here has been basically a fake out. So if you look back into the previous signals, this sell signal, it dropped below, it hit the session, it faked out, and then it swung right back in the opposite direction. This buy signal over here swung up, it touched the opening price, faked out, and came right back down. Same with this buy signal right here. This buy signal is pushing up pretty heavily, but it's right at opening price right here, this blue line. So this is one thing to look out for. If this closes with a buy signal, target price point is going to be the next horizontal line right there. Exactly. Eunice said it may hit liquidity on the top. Yeah, and that's kind of what I see happening too. Eunice, we have liquidity over here push. Well, we have a lot of liquidity here on top. I don't know if it'll push all the way to the very top, but it'll probably push up and hit, at least this area of liquidity. You can see here how price faked out of this smaller zone right here. Price pushed up, it failed to close above it, and then it came right back below. If price closes above it, I could still see a fake out happening at that point too. So we'll see where this goes. All right, so we got news coming up here at 7 o'clock. Buy signal still hasn't closed yet. So that's basically the thing we're looking for. If you guys ever look at like how price moves and stuff, you can kind of anticipate where target price is going to push to, right? It's basically like zone to zone trading. Like if you have a buy signal there, or like, for example, if you have a sell signal here, price pushes to the zone, you have a buy signal, pushes to the zone, you have a sell signal, pushes to the next zone, buy signal touches the zone, comes back down right here, comes back up, comes back down, etc. So we have a buy signal right here. Target price point first is going to be this first zone, the top of the zone. Next is going to be the next zone. And you guys can see how there's milestones here that you guys can focus on. If you guys are wondering where price is likely to go, there's just so many areas of resistance for it to hit here before it reaches the target price point, which would be the sessions up there. Trend meter is starting to turn blue. So with that said, we might be looking for some buys if price continues to, obviously push up a bit higher. Let me take a look at the sentiment real quick and see where everything is sitting. So sentiment right now is currently, it's still 70%. If this goes up to 71%, I might not be inclined to take any buys here because I don't want to be chasing it if a lot of other people are also chasing. You can see here it went up to 71% and then it dropped back down to 70, 71, 70. It's going between 70 and 71. People are starting to hop into these buys here because they're anticipating it to push up higher. I don't want to enter when prices like this. Price pushed up, hit the SR. So these were the target price points that we were identifying, right? At this point now, you can kind of see whether price is going to break past it. This could be a crossroads where price will either, if it breaks above it and continues pushing, the next area to reach is going to be up here, right? This is going to be the next area. However, if we get a wick rejection off the structure, odds are price is probably going to correct back down. So trend meter is now green. So we'll probably be looking for some buys here. It's just going to be super, super risky because we don't want to hop onto that bandwagon with the rest of everyone else, right? So I'm not taking this trade here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if these hit first. And then if they hit, then, possibly look for the next one. Because they do come in bunches. So this one right here did hit. So we could find the next one here. If this closes as a moderate red, a moderate green candle, possible entry off this here. We actually had, now we only had one that hit. Actually, we had two that hit. So we had one right here. This was a full TP, wick rejection off structure, trend meter's green, price is swinging up. This would hit full TP. Also, this one right here would have hit full TP as well. So as you guys can see, they typically come in bunches. Target price point is going to be this area up here. It looks like price is not looking to close above there, but yeah, there's no moderate green candle there. We also have news coming up over here shortly as well. Yeah, so this candle was too big. However, it did hit. This candle right here was not too big, but it was a risky entry. We had two back-to-back wins here for K2SR rejections. Yeah, we'll just keep following it and see where it goes from here. I'm going to go and clean this up. We have news coming up though in about 2 minutes, so might not be a good time to enter a trade. Let me check the news real quick. 7 o'clock. Yeah, definitely not going to take a trade right now because it is revised UN consumer sentiment, medium news. This will probably affect the market. So we'll see where price goes. This just might be a correction back to the downside, if anything. So you guys can see here where it rejected from. So here are a couple of things that I want to remind you guys. So these horizontal lines, these dotted lines, these are red flags. These are where you don't want to trade. This is opening price, news price, sessions. These boxes here are the K2SR zones. These can be used as bumpers. So if you guys see here, price will typically go up and then it'll bounce off the bumper, right? Bounces off the bumper, you get a sell signal, it pushes to the next zone down here. Another bumper right here, buy signal, price ends up pushing up. So if you guys are looking for where price can likely bounce from, it'll be the SRs. Areas where you don't want to trade because there's a lot of manipulation will be the sessions, basically the dotted horizontal lines, not the zones. So we got a new zone right here. I'm gonna have to go and make an adjustment right here, pull this down. I'm just gonna have to adjust it all the way down here. All right, delete this one. All right, looks good. All right, so let's see where price ends up going right here. This is the news candle. I'm gonna mark up news price right there. Let's check the news real quick. News is negative. No surprise there. So for revised UOM consumer sentiment, it is negative, just as anticipated. So I'm gonna go and mark that right there. I pretty much anticipate all the news this week to be negative. Just because of like what's going on, right? There's just so much going on in the world with regard to the economy. Economy's not doing well. So all of these consumer sentiments and everything, they're not necessarily going to be positive or positive confidently. Like the new home sales that was positive this week, that didn't make any sense. Or last week, I can't remember. But all of the bigger news like inflation news, recession news, updates regarding the economy's future in the next couple months is not going to be good. So we do have a sell signal right here. We don't have the red trend meter yet. Looks like on the next candle, it may be a red trend meter. It's a huge zone right here. Typically don't like it when the zones are that big. But just got to deal with it. That's all we have right now. All right. So if we get a moderate red candle here, this could be a possible entry. However, it's going to be really close to opening price. So I don't know if we'll be able to take it, but we'll see if we can get that. Okay, we also need the trend meter to turn red below. It's still blue. So there's no wick rejection off this candle here yet. So no entry at the moment. We need price to push up a little bit, push down below, provide a red trend meter down here. And we should be good. Let's go back to the clean chart. As you guys can see right here, I drew the zone here from earlier. Price basically faked out. Price pushed up above, faked out right here, and then came right back into the range. So comparing today's market from yesterday's, it's a huge difference, right? If you guys were on the live session yesterday, price was very directional for a sell. Today, price is kind of just going back and forth. Again, no direction in the market. Unfortunately, that was just a one-day thing. It looks like we get closer to October, November, price will continue to move more directional. If the market does move as normal conditions proceed. The only problem is that this year we're going into a recession. So it's not going to be as smooth as it's been for the past couple of years. The market, the thing with the market, guys, is that it never gets easier, right? Like that's something that a lot of people misconstrue. They think that the market gets easier. It never gets easier. You just get better at trading and adapting with the market. I'm sure if you guys have been applying other strategies in the past, they're not as accurate as they were like 2-3 years ago, right? Because the market is ever changing. But the thing that you want to keep in mind is that there's only two main types of markets, right? There's a ranging consolidating market, and then there's a directional market. So if you have a strategy for either one, that's where you can really dial in. So right now we're in a ranging market. That's why we're only applying the K2SR rejection strategy. When we're in a directional market, we can apply every other strategy, because most of the strategies that I've created are based off momentum. Since there's not really much of a strong momentum here, price kind of pushes down and then it loses momentum, swings up, comes back down, and it's very choppy. That's why a lot of the other strategies don't necessarily apply during these types of conditions. So if you guys are patient enough to be disciplined and wait for those conditions to come back, which they're going to come back eventually, it's just going to be a matter of time. We're still coming back from summer. You'll be able to go and apply those other strategies. But for now, I recommend only applying the K2SR rejection strategy at the moment. Because, my main goal here is to make sure that you guys pass, pass and be consistently profitable, not necessarily make these big profits every single day. Because you guys have seen, we've had days before where we had made huge profits, but like how consistent can that be if you guys are taking a lot of these risky trades? So so far you guys have been doing pretty good. David over here as well. He said, have a great weekend, Sean. David over here locking a total of 5170 for the day. So nice work right there, David. Looks like you took a loss there, but you bounced right back on these next trades. So solid work right there, David. Have a great weekend. Going over here, Al locked in some more profits. He took some more sells on the way down, locked in a total profit of 4,685. Nice work, Al. Great work right there. And Dejan over here as well. Dejan took a buy earlier. His price is swinging up. Total profit of 128 for the day. Nice work, Dejan. So you guys did pretty good so far. I'm up pretty solid too on my accounts over here. You guys can do the math. It's not a crazy amount, but it's good for just that one speculative trade off my analysis earlier today. So if you guys are listening to my analysis, you guys can also hop into these. You guys just have to understand what you're doing. 1,260, 1,260, 1,260. So I just took that one trade right there across all my accounts. This is where I'm currently sitting. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts right here. So not bad. CSUK over here posted some profits as well. So nice work, CSUK. CSUK is currently up 9,000 for the day. It's like US30 sells to the bottom when it was dropping earlier this morning. So nice work right there, CSUK. 9,000 total for 2 trades. All right, the trend meter down here is green. So with it being green, we need a buy signal in order for us to take some buys here. We don't have that yet, but eventually it should probably be coming up within a matter of time. Delete this right there. Update these zones a little bit. All right, everything looks fine for the most part. We just need some direction in the market. So we're stuck in a hard place right here because we have news price up here, and then we have opening price right here. So if we get a sell entry, we can't even take a sell because we're right at opening price. If we get a buy entry, we can't even take a buy because we're right at news price. So what we need here to happen is I need price to push out here, or I need price to push down here, or even lower. Or if price to stay around this area, I need the trend meter down here to turn red, right? Because the trend meter has not changed yet. It's still green. So we technically can only be looking for buys right now. So if we get a buy signal at some point, we can possibly continue riding that direction, but we'll have to wait and see where this goes. See, CSUK caught that buy earlier before news. Think I might call in. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you did pretty good for a Friday, CSUK, so it's not bad at all. Like CSUK over here locked in some more profits. So this is the one that CSUK is referring to. And I keep getting these issues with Telegram where it always resets. All right, so there's CSUK right there. He took the buy as it swung right back up, locked in the total profit of 10,100 for the day. Nice work, CSUK. Maddie said might call it today too. Take it easy. Take my SPX profits and run. LOL. Yeah, no, definitely, Maddie. If you guys made profits today already so far, if you guys want to hang on the live session, you guys are more than welcome to hang on. But if you guys are happy with your profits for a Friday, obviously I would just call it a day. Friday is not necessarily the best day to trade. Fridays and Mondays are the worst days to trade because you get a lot of manipulation both ways. You also get a lot of volatility on these days too. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you'll get volatility. You can take trades as price comes along. However, it is a risky thing because you get a lot of manipulation as well. Worst part here is that there's so many areas of manipulation, right? It doesn't seem like the market has gotten any better. It was just yesterday was a one-day fluke, but everything else is not really aligning. So because there's so many sessions over here. So if I was to take, all these zones off, you can still see that there's all of these red flags. And you can see them right here on the side. So red flag right here. Right there. Right there. If you guys look at my toolbar over here on the side, you guys can see all of the labels for these horizontal lines. It's just not good areas to trade at because your price will easily get manipulated around these points. So if price gets around these points right here and you take a buy or a sell, it doesn't matter what direction you're trading in, you can easily get spiked out because price will just spike one way or the other. So yeah, just something to keep in mind here, guys. You just got to be very patient and disciplined. I know we've been very disciplined like throughout the summer. You just got to hold strong until the summer, until the market starts to move a lot better. But lately, there just hasn't been very much of a good trading. There hasn't been too much of good trading conditions for US30. So looking over here again at the clean chart, I'm going to go and just clean this up. Or actually, I should leave it up because this will identify where the zone's sitting. I'll clean up this little one. So I'll take that off and I'll clean up these high lows right here. But this big zone over here from when market open is a clear example as to like where price is likely to fake out and pull right back in. But you guys can see here that the market, well, the range is starting to squeeze. So this is a good thing because we might get a breakout at some point within the near future. So we have a range within a range right here. But the main range to focus on would be this big one here, because you can see how price is just, it's been ranging between this area for the entire session. If we were to measure this right here, price is pretty much ranged about 1,250 pips, but it just keeps pulling back in. So whenever price does spike out or something like that, so say price shoots out, ends up here, right? What's likely to happen after? Swing right back in. Same with the opposite, right? If price was to break out this way, fake out, swing right back in. So just keep that in mind, guys. And you can see right here, price is starting to finally move, but it's still ranging within this area. You can't really see too much on this chart because there's so much going on here. But on the clean chart here, you guys can see pretty obvious that price is just ranging right down this middle. Right there. Got a sell signal right here. Price is really trying to get below the opening price, but it's having trouble. So again, right here, you can see where price is testing. It's testing that blue line, huge wick rejection right there. See if it actually makes it below. All right, so it's still trying to get below it, but you can see where it's rejecting from, directly off opening price. If you look down to the right over here, if you guys are wondering what these lines are, just look onto the right side. It'll tell you exactly what it is. So this blue line right here is New York Open. I try to color coordinate them so that you guys can identify it easier. Pink lines are news price up here. Blue lines are opening price, and purple line, red line, and green lines are all sessions. So there we go right there is price rejects directly off it. And shoots up a little higher right here. So as you guys can see, price is basically, it's a double bottom right here, double bottom rejection off the opening price. And it looks like it could be a double body right here. So it can be setting up for a reversal pattern. This would technically be a V1 entry if everything lined up. It's double body rejection there, pending buy signal. Overall bias is not bullish though, so it wouldn't necessarily fit all the criteria, but this would be considered a reversal pattern and a possible pushback to the upside, or maybe another retest here. So again, no entries at this point. The trend meter just keeps changing. So in order for us to take any buys here, we need a buy signal. We don't have the buy signal yet. So that's what I'm going to be following for here. If I can find a buy signal here, we can possibly take this for a push to the upside. All right, so I'm gonna have to update this a little bit because that zone is no longer there. Biggest zone is right here. And I'm just gonna extend this up a little higher. All right, we got another one down here. So now that we do have a zone down here, I'm gonna go and delete these zones over here because these are pretty relevant now. All right, so Now that we have a zone down here, if you guys remembered what I mentioned before, target price point is going to be, so there's a couple different target price points. So these are going to be the stronger target price points. If price breaks and closes below the sessions right here, target price points can be right here. Next area for price to push is likely going to be the zone right here. So this is like something that you guys can look at as well, because when price gets down to this point, price will do one of two things. It'll either bounce off it because it acts as a bumper, or it'll break below here, be manipulated off the sessions, and from that point, it can bounce off. There's basically two levels of bounce right here that could possibly happen. Let's see, Patricia said double body. Yeah, so it was a continuation entry right here. This would have been a nice entry if there was an opening price, news price, sessions, and if the candle wasn't so big, right? But yeah, you did spot that properly, Patricia. This would have been a nice entry and it would have hit TP, but the main problem is the candle was too big and there's just too many red flags here: opening price, news price, and sessions. Just got to continue to be patient here. I know it's tough, man. Trust me. I've been like wanting to FOMO into trades like pretty much all week. I mean, all week, this week and last week. Last week was just as bad. Like this week is just exactly a mirror of what happened last week, right? If you guys remembered last week, there wasn't anything for us to take at all. I forced a trade on Wednesday and I lost it because I FOMOed into a trade. But then I made it back on Friday. Thankfully, I made 3 back-to-back wins. For today, or for this week, yesterday was a good day, but there just wasn't any entries for us to take because price was so far from the area. Today, there's entries to take, but price is like right at all the red flags. So it's basically like a minefield here, right? That's what I like to associate with, because if you guys take any trades around these areas here where any of these horizontal lines are, odds of you getting spiked out, faked out, or complete reversals are very likely. So I typically want price to be away from these areas, but it's going to be almost impossible for us to get away from them because there's so many spread out here. The main thing that I can look for here is I can probably turn off the K2SR so that I can kind of just focus on when price is within this area here, or even above here, if it ever gets that far. But there isn't really too much going on here. You can see again, price is pulling back up. What do you think this area is right here, guys? This is the range, right? So if I go to the clean chart over here, price is just pulling back into this range. So let me clean this up a little bit. So the good thing here is that price is really starting to squeeze. If you guys can see here, the squeeze is going to be down the middle. Right? So it just keeps creating zones within the zones. But as price starts to get tighter and tighter, it really is charging up for a breakout. So it gets down to this middle right here, and then it starts to move sideways. Once this happens like this, you can expect a breakout to really happen one way or the other. But it's just a sideways market. So that's why I keep a clean chart here so that you guys can see the market structure and stuff, because it's hard to see when you have so many things on the chart. So let me just fix this right here real quick. Let me turn off the indicators. And you guys can see right here that price is not doing anything. This is where market opened at 630. Price is just going back and forth all session. So initially price came down below here, created a low, price pushed above here, faked out, and now it's right back down the middle, right down here. So there really isn't any direction here for you guys to trade. Whenever you guys take a trade, you guys always want to have a bias, right? Don't trade, try to stick in one direction, whether it be short-term bias or long-term bias. Looking over here at the bias again, let's take a look at the long-term bias. Retail sentiment currently up 70%. So with that said, this hasn't changed too much. People are still sitting on those buys from earlier. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently down 100 points almost. So they're still weighing towards a sell. It's just, it's just a matter of time until it can confirm. But yeah, this is indicating a sell. This is also indicating a sell. Looking over here at the stock index, Nike's like the biggest one that's dropping now. It's down 10 points. Not sure why they're down so much. See the news right here. PCE inflation August 2020. So Fed's preferred gauge shows inflation accelerated even more than expected in August. Yeah, definitely. Obviously not good for the economy. Some more news on the Ukrainian war. Putin declares 4 new regions of Russian Federation. Ukraine says civilian convoy hit by Russian strike. US set to announce new sanctions on Russia in response to Ukraine's annexation. Russia's not aiming, or Putin says Russia is not aiming for the return of the Soviet Union. All right, so some updates over here regarding the war in Ukraine. But it's not really causing any movements in the market. So market is still moving sideways. CC said their earnings came in absolute crap with Nike. Yeah, I figured that was the case because they're down 10 points today. It's a lot. All right, so price is pretty much just back in the range here. It's not really doing too much. Let's see. Okay, so price is within this area right here, which is fine. Now we can possibly look for some buy K2SR rejections, right? So the trend meter here is changing between blue and green and red, which is not necessarily a good thing because you guys can see the uncertainty in direction of price, direction of bias, and direction of trend because it keeps changing so often. Typically, you don't want to be trading when this is happening right here because you can see over here when that happened previously, you just get these weird movements, right? So price went from like blue to green or red to blue to green to blue to red. And you can see how price is just super nasty. It's just bouncing around back and forth with literally no direction. That's exactly what's happening right here. So you guys can use these tools as indicators in identifying whether it's a safe market to trade in. I wouldn't consider this a safe market at all because there's really no direction. If you can trade where it's all red right here, perfect, right? You take a sell, even if you make a bad trade, you're probably going to win that trade. Same with this over here. If you're looking for a buy, price is going up, right? It doesn't matter whether you take a bad entry, you enter too early, you enter too late. Odds of it hitting are very likely. So it's all green right here, perfect. It's all red right here, perfect. Price comes down. It starts to cross over a lot, like right here, red, blue, green. This is like not a good market to trade in right here. I could even show you guys here on the clean chart. So you can see from this area right here, this is not necessarily an area you want to trade in, right? Because the price is kind of just consolidating a bit, shoots up, then it comes right back down. Not a good area to trade. Right here, it's all red. So this is perfect because you can just catch it and you can just take any sells here and you can just take any trade and you could probably still win. Right here, say you see it turn green, right? You see it turn green, you take a buy up here and then price comes slumping all the way down. Not a great area to trade. Same with where price is currently at right here. Or here's another example where it got super choppy between this area right here and this area right here. right? You don't want to trade when market's doing this stuff. That's exactly what's happening right here. It's changing so often that if you look at the trend meter down here, like, okay, it keeps going back and forth. It's probably not a good area to trade. When it's all red, perfect. When it's all green, perfect. But once it starts to jumble around, you definitely want to be careful with taking any entries at this point. So just using this as a visualization so that you guys can see, you know, why this is not necessarily a good area to be trading in. Zooming in a little further, yeah, trend meter still has not confirmed. It's going from red to green to blue to red to green to red to blue to green to back to blue. Like really no consistency there. Oh, man, I was hoping for a bigger push today, or like at least some sort of direction, but there isn't very much direction here at all. The main thing that you guys want to also focus on is like when not to trade, right? Because I could see that there's a lot of possible entries here that would be tempting to enter into, but I mean, I'm just like waiting for something to actually tell me where price is going. But I mean, just looking over here, let me see if there's any. So I don't see any continuations here. I also don't see any variation. So I mean, either or. I haven't seen any entries right here. I was trying to see if there was any possible entries that could have been taken, but it just doesn't look good at all. There's one double body here. This is probably the most recent entry that came up. Double body here, but the candle was too big. So you want to be able to take that continuation there to begin with. Yeah, Eunice said market is testing our patience. Exactly, that's what it is. It's testing your patience so that you'll make a wrong move, right? The main thing here is to not make that wrong move. Whether you guys have been trading for a few years, a lot of years, you know, multiple years, most everyone will tell you that, or you can even, if you guys think about your trades, think about every time you guys screw up, right? You guys will have good streaks where you're doing really well, like an entire week, an entire month. And then there's just one day where you just screw up because you lose your discipline. That's the same with like everyone. That's why for me, I'm super disciplined with taking these trades and when avoiding the market, because it's happened to me so many times. Once you get burnt enough times, you'll start to realize that it's best to just sit out the market than forcing something that isn't necessarily there. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said best to take it easy every single day, slow grind. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Maddie. That's why for me, you know, I take like maybe 1 or 2 trades a day. But the thing is, I barely lose, so the profits just add up at the end of the week, end of the month, etc. And then when you have multiple accounts, it's even better because your profits just add up. Let's see. Patrick said took some moves during London. That loss was a solid SR rejection over at flags. Fundamentals were around 150, and the green trend meter had been green for quite some time. Price had recently retraced down a bit and pushed up past previous highs. Momentum signal is green. Wick rejected off the zone, moderate candle, but was one of those times just didn't work out. Yeah, so Patrick over here took a loss during London session, but he made his way right back. So nice work with the recovery right there, Patrick. And Patrick is right. You know, sometimes that happens where you just everything lines up perfect, but you don't necessarily hit the trade. Like everything lines up perfect trade, but it still loses. I'm trying to see like what time that trade came up, because I know your time zone is a bit different. 10:18. I'm kind of curious what trade you took, but it's all right. I mean, Patrick understands, you know, that there's going to be wins and losses. There's no guarantees in the market, but definitely nice recovery there, Patrick. The other Patrick over here as well, he said not going to risk anymore today, locked in a total profit of 3,022. So nice work right there, Patrick. Locked in one full trade right here, and then a couple of smaller profits along the way. Solid work right there. Valentine said, my dad dared me to pass his 70K pound challenge, 100K challenge, first stage, and he went through all aggressive and he finally passed it. Nice work, Valentine. So Valentine aggressively traded this account, locked in a total profit of 7,502 and basically passed it. Or it looks like you're almost past, but you're basically there, Valentine. So nice work. Made 7,502 for the day. Patricia's profits over here so far as well. So looking over here at Patricia's profit, she's currently up 1,767 off this account. Nice work, Patricia. Yeah, man, my Telegram keeps crashing on me. So her first profit over here was 1,767. Second account over here currently up 2,407. Nice work, Patricia. See if there's any more profits over here. Nice setup, Smatty. I just saw your markups right there. All right, not bad, guys. You guys did pretty good for Friday. The majority of you guys. I'm still looking for that trade, but I just don't see anything here. There was one right here. I totally missed it. So I don't know if you guys caught that right there, but there was one SR rejection entry right here. It was a solid entry. It happened so quickly, I missed it. So this right here was the only entry that came up right here. We had a wick rejection. It was a moderate green candle, green momentum, green trend meter. Pivots were angling up. Totally missed it. So unfortunately, we missed that trade right there, guys. But there was one that came up right here. It was a K2SR rejection entry within the zone. Yeah, unfortunately. That was that one trade I was looking for too. I was looking for that green, that solid green entry, but unfortunately, we missed it. So it's all good. If you guys caught it, great. If you didn't, it's okay. I missed it too. Yeah, this one fit all the criteria. Wick rejection off bottom, moderate green candle, momentum, trend meter. Candle wasn't too big. It was pretty decent. And it went straight to its TP right after. It's all good. We'll keep watching for the next one here. Going over here to the sentiment. Sentiment is 70% long. So it doesn't seem like there's that many retail traders in the market right now that are really changing their positions. A lot of the moves here are based off the market makers and institutions, right? They're just pushing price back and forth. This looks like it could be another fake out. Possibly a double top. So we'll see where this goes here. But yeah, this looks like this could be a double top, and then it might be making its way back down. If not, if it keeps pushing up, then we can possibly look for an entry at this point. But we need price to actually close above here so that we can get that wick rejection off the structure above here. All right, so price stays above here. It's not going to be an entry for us to take because it looks like the candle's too big. So with this one right here, this is as high as it can go, basically. So we're looking for a moderate green candle here. We do have the wick rejection off the structure if it does push up. It just can't be too big of a candle. If we get that, we can possibly take a buy here, but it's not really looking like it. And it needs to be a pretty confirmed candle too. Like we can't be waiting for the last second for it to close. But if we are looking to enter it, you have to wait for it to actually close. So if it gets to like the last 5 seconds and it's not at that point, then we're not going to force it. Like the trade that came up yesterday. If you guys remember yesterday, we were looking at a trade. We need for it to close, but it closed at the very last second. So right there, no moderate green candle, no entry off that over there. You can see right here, price pretty much tested that same price point for a possible double top. All right, price is pushing higher right here. There you go. This price kind of stays around this area. Typically, what we want to happen here is you want price to close within the zone right here, right? The reason why we want it to close within the zone is so that we can get a wick rejection within the zone. If price doesn't close above it, it's going to be impossible for us to get a wick rejection off this area. We have to aim for here, but there's news price right here. So it's not going to fit the criteria that we're looking for. This is still a bit risky though, because you can see that this can be a possible fake out, just like what happened here. This can be a double top. It can just be consolidating sideways for a bit before it comes crashing right back down. All right, here we go. As price pushes up higher. Main thing to look out for is going to be price breaking past this high right here. And it did right there. So it broke past it. That's perfectly fine. Now that price is above this area, we're looking for it to retrace back down on the next candle. So I want it to stay above here. However, we don't want it to push too far up. So we got about 10 seconds left on this candle. When this candle closes, if price does pull back even a little bit, we'll get that wick rejection. And then from there, we can possibly look for a buy. See how far is it overextended? It's a bit overextended. It's up 1,770 pips. Here goes, price comes back below. It's going to be too big of a candle. So this is as far as I can go. If it closes with a green candle that closes above here, then perfect. If it goes any higher, we can't take the trade because it'll be too big of a candle. There was a continuation right here. If you guys spotted that, one of Maddie's continuations, double body right here. And then it pushed up, that would have been a full TP. I'm gonna hold off on that though. I'm not really looking to take anything aside from actual K2SR entries. So still nothing here. As you can see, price is now just ranging around this area above. Let me go and mark up the high lows around that area. I kind of don't want to mess with this here because I want to see if this double top actually does play out and comes back below. Yeah, Maddie said he closes MT4, done for the day. It's a Friday. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. So Maddie's going to stay on here and just hang out, but he closes MT4 so that he doesn't force any trades. That's a good idea, Maddie, because I've seen a lot of people, and it's crazy. I've seen so many people where they make profits all week and then they lose it all on Friday because they keep trying to force trades. If you guys think about it, it's probably happened to you once before. You guys have probably made a bunch of profit throughout the week. And then Friday, you take a couple trade and take one trade, it loses. Then you revenge trade the next one and you lose some more until you're all out of profit. You're into the negative for the week. So if that's your problem, your best option is to just close out MC4. Don't delete it though, because it's not on the App Store anymore. So don't delete it off your phone. But yeah, if you can just close it, if you're happy with what you have for today, then that'd be, a good idea. So smart move there, Maddie. And I agree with what you're doing too. I used to do that for a while too. I mean, I still do it. Like as soon as I get off this live session, I'm going to turn off my MC4 because I've had that issue a lot of times in the past. For some reason, Friday is just like, it's a FOMO day for everybody. I feel like everyone kind of wants to close a week out strong. And then if you lose a trade, it makes you upset. So your trade psychology gets all screwed up. And then you start to force trades because you think that you can make it back on that next trade. What ends up happening is you just keep stacking more and more losses. So, oh yeah, Maddie, it is, huh? Yeah, and I remember you told me. Yeah, I'm gonna be in San Diego tomorrow, Maddie. Just send me the info because my girl, or I guess my fiance, she's it's weird. Gotta call her my fiance now. She has a marathon tomorrow in San Diego, so I'll be in San Diego tomorrow morning. But I mean, if anything, maybe I'll swing by after. Yeah, just let me know the info and I'll see what's good. Patricia said she's out. Good weekend, everyone. Thanks, Sean. Definitely, Patricia. So we'll see. We'll see you here on Monday. Yeah. Oh, Maddie, it changed to the 22nd. I'm not sure. Did I send you the update? I'll send you right now. My bad. I thought I sent it to you. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, we changed it to the 22nd. I'm gonna send it to you on Telegram. Oh, nice. Nerdy's gonna be in San Diego tomorrow too, dropping off care package from Cam at UCSD. Yeah, no, looks like he's having fun out there, bro. Yeah, if you guys have seen Cameron, he's going to UCSD. He went to the student store and put like trading view on every chart. I was like, that's legit. Man, I wish I knew how to trade when I was in college. So I think it'll be fun for him. He could probably start his own trading group out there. I mean, UCSD has a lot of engineers. Like they have a pretty good engineering program. He could probably get people to create algorithms out there as well. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a good area. It's a good place to find a group out there to trade with. Nice, nice. Yeah, Narith said that he's recruiting for the Go Long Infinity Foundation. He's collecting donors. That's solid. Yeah, no, while he's out there, he can start I mean, I wish I did this. If I knew about this stuff in college, it'd be crazy because I could be teaching everybody in college how to trade, right? Um, yeah, no, definitely. That'd be cool. And you know, if that's the case, yeah, I mean, is Cam in here right now? I don't think Cam's in here now, but yeah, if Cam sets that up, I can go to the school too and teach people or teach his group how to trade. I think that'd be easier. I like teaching people who don't have any experience with trading because they don't have they don't have any bias, right? It's hard for me to teach somebody who's already learned how to trade because they're so stuck in their ways that they're not open-minded enough to learn the way that we trade here. So yeah, if once Cam has his like trading group ready at his college, you know, I'll go over there and I'll teach them all how to trade because I like teaching people who have no knowledge. Like Maddie. Maddie's one of the people who joined K2 with no knowledge of trading. And Maddie knows more than majority of people here, right? With identifying and analyzing charts. It's just easier to teach someone from a blank slate because it's hard to teach someone who already knows or who's learned a way to trade and then they don't want to listen to any other ways of trading. Yeah, same with Marco here too. Like Marco said, that's why I'm glad it came in when he did, because Marco is doing his long-term trades, but you know, he didn't really come in with a bias. He came in with an open mind, willing to learn. And Marco has like, what do you have now? Like 5 or 6 funded accounts, or you have like about I think that last month you had like 3, so you're probably adding on more to there. And then you also have that accelerated account as well. All right, Maddie. Yeah, I'll see you this weekend maybe. So just let me know the info and I'll try to pass by if I can. iPhone's asking Sean, any thoughts on Apple dropping MT4? Not really. I mean, it has a lot to do with like what's going on with the Ukrainian war, right? I know everyone has like different types of theories as to like why it's happening, but all these regulations, the one thing that you guys can keep in mind is that MT4 is used to launder a lot of money, right? Like whether you guys like believe it or not, MT4, like anyone could start a broker on there and they can just transfer money through cryptocurrency through these brokers. So that's kind of why I'm not surprised that MT4 got taken down. I think MT4 will get back on there at some point, but yeah, it's not going to be back at the you know, it's probably not going to be back in the App Store for a while. So hopefully you guys have not deleted it. I still have it on my phone. It works perfectly fine. You just can't download it new anymore. There's a, yeah, exactly. C6 said, do not update and do not delete. Let's see what we got over here. Let's see. Now you send me this video. Let's see what is it. Oh yeah. No, they send me this video right here. Let me see if I can post it and share it with you guys. Yeah, Nate sent me this video. He said basically when in profit, trailing stop it. Yeah, it's just like a song right here. That it's key, guys. Like if you guys don't have a TP, you always have to make sure to move your stop loss in profit, especially if you're taking a bigger position. Like for me earlier, I was telling you guys that I took the XRP over here. I took the buy over here, and then unfortunately I moved my stop loss too close, but I still got pulled out in profit. But yeah, if you guys are taking longer term trades like swing trades and stuff like that, it makes sense to move your stop loss in profit if you're not using a trailing stop. Back to the charts over here, guys. There's still nothing for us to take right now at the moment. I'm still looking for price to, obviously provide an entry for us, but we don't have anything available right now. Trend meter is still green, so what I'm looking for is for price to push up over here into this area and then provide an entry, because we can't get any trades down here, obviously, right? Unless we swing back to a sell bias. We currently have a bullish bias right now. Reason for that's because the trend meter is green, pivots are angling up, green is over red. We're looking for a buy here. Long-term bias is still a sell, but it seems like this number here hasn't changed all session. It's still at 70%. So it seems like a lot of the retail traders who are already in the market are just sitting there. There's nobody pulling out. There's nobody entering the market. Everyone who's already in the market is just sitting on their positions at the moment. The only thing that's really pushing price around right now is the market makers and institutions, right? They're just pushing price back and forth, looking to lure some people in. Because here's the thing right here. We've identified this as a double top, right? This could be another fake out. This could be the double top. Price will come back below here, fake out right here, and then shoot right through it, right? So you guys have to think about the scenarios here. We don't trade double tops, but I know other people trade double tops, right? So you're playing chess here, basically identifying, okay, where are people looking to trade? Are they looking to take this double top, or are they looking to anticipate it to push up higher? Another thing that you can identify here is, okay, if you were to take the double top here, right? So say someone took a double top right here. Where would they typically place their stop loss? They place their stop loss right there, right? About 400 pips or so. And what typically people like to trade are like 2-to-1 risk towards, right? So their TP is going to be way down here, something like that. And what you're doing is you're thinking the opposite. So you're thinking best case scenario, price will come down to hit TP. Worst case scenario, price comes up and stops them out, right? So what am I looking for? I'm looking for the worst case scenario to identify different scenarios that can play out. Price can either come down here, hit their TP, or price can push up here and hit their stop loss. What are the odds of it hitting stop loss? Very likely. So, and you can see right here, it's now in some massive drawdown. So whoever was taking the double top right here, you can see that they're now going to massive drawdown and price is pushing up even higher. And then we have the Fed speaking here at 8 o'clock as well. So just keep that in mind, guys. Whenever you guys are taking a trade, always analyze the worst case scenario and analyze the best case scenario. So I'm looking at the double tops right here, which I don't like to trade. And I'm looking at this here and I'm looking like, okay, they're going to get stopped out soon. So there goes, price pushes up here. If that becomes the case, then what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for this to provide me a K2SR rejection entry. If I can get that K2SR rejection entry, odds are it's probably going to hit my TP, because it's going to push through and hit the other people's stop losses, whoever's like chasing the double top here, right? So we don't have a wick rejection yet. I need it to drop a little lower. Okay, perfect. We have the wick rejection now. If we get a moderate red candle, I mean a moderate green candle, we can take this for a possible buy. So as you guys can see, it stopped out those people who are looking for that double top there. So basically whoever's looking for the double top here basically got stopped out. And then now they're getting faked out again. So check out this fake out right here. So stop loss is right here, right? And I'm sure you guys, this has happened to you guys a lot of times where this is your trade right here, right? Price comes up, it taps your stop loss. And then what happens? Price drops right back into profit. This is all manipulation, right? If you guys can look closely, whoever entered the double top right here, they got price dropped immediately, giving them some hope that price was going to go straight to a TP. They're all excited. Price comes up here, stops them out. It literally just triggers a stop loss by like a few pips. And then it comes right back into profit. What do you think happened at this point? The same people who got stopped out, they're re-entering the trade again down here, right? They just re-entered again. They put their stop loss right there. And they're doing the same thing over and over again. And look how prices swing right back up to stop them out again. They're getting burnt twice in a row. So just keep that in mind. Whenever you guys are looking for a trade, doesn't matter if you're applying my strategy, any of these other strategies, double tops, always analyze for the worst thing that can happen in the market, which you get caught in these fake outs where they just keep stopping you out over and over and over again until you give up. As soon as you give up, price comes down and hits your TP. And you're like, what the fuck, right? Because I'm sure that's happened to you guys a lot. It's happened to me a ton of times throughout my trading career. And that's why I don't fall for these traps anymore. Whenever I see these traps play out, like I keep cool and I just chill out and wait for the market to really provide some actual direction. So let me go and just update these zones right here. These zones are pushing out quite a bit. So that looks good right there. It's good right there. Solid. All right, so we need price to push above this area. Here we go. As price continues to move along, we have a wick rejection right there. We need a moderate green candle in order for us to take this for a K2SR rejection. So we'll see if we can get this here. And if this closes as a moderate green candle, we got to make sure that the candle actually closes pretty moderate. It can't be like a last second trade like we've been looking at for the past couple of days, right? It needs to be an actual moderate green candle. If it's not moderate and it's not consistent, then we're just going to skip it, because we're not going to wait for the last 5 seconds for that candle to close. And then all of a sudden you get faked out super horribly and you get stopped out, right? Especially on a Friday. So just keep that in mind. If you're following this right here, if this closes as a moderate green candle, you can take it for a buy. If not, then we're just going to sit out. Just got to wait for it to actually close. We're at the last couple seconds. I'm not going to take this if it closes. It's too last minute. So no entry right there, of course. This next one right here is another opportunity. We have the wick rejection off the structure. If this closes as a moderate green candle, we can take this for a possible buy. But again, we have to make sure that it's an actual moderate candle and it's not going to close in the last, 5 seconds or so. All right, so let's see where it's at. Patricia said she's not touching it. We'll see. I got to wait until the last 10 seconds or so for this candle to close. If it doesn't look solid by the last 10 seconds, I'm just going to skip it. And it's definitely not looking solid here at all. Yep, definitely not. So just keep in mind, guys, that next week is NFP week. So this week that we had today, Monday through Friday, it's been a super choppy and unusual week, right? This is normal for pre-NFP because it's preparing for the big pushes that are going to happen next week. It seems like a lot of people are already out of the market for the week because the volatility just died down completely. It just seems like this whole area here is just an area of manipulation because they just keep luring in buyers. They'll push price up, drop it a little bit, lure in these sellers, stop them out, do it again right here, stop them out, and then do it again right here. This is basically the second or third phase right here where they just keep stopping out these sellers. So just something to keep in mind. Like if you guys don't see anything good today, it's fine. Just keep your capital for next week because there's not going to be much for you to take here anyways to begin with. If price breaks below this area, then we might be able to get a switch to the sell side, but it's just not looking good at all. There's nothing here for us to take. Sentiment here has not changed at all. This is why I can tell that there's no retail traders entering or exiting the market because it's been 70 all morning. If there was retail traders going in and out of the market, this number would increase to 71 or decrease to like 68. It just hasn't changed at all. It's at 70. It's been 74. Yeah, I don't even know how long now. It's been at this number for a long time. So it seems like a lot of people are just out of the market for the most part. Yeah, Pat said, I agree with Patricia, unless it rejects through the top of the zone, because there's another big rejection off price around 29,300. Yeah, no, and I agree too. That's why I'm expecting, well, what I was anticipating was if price was to close above this area right here, I was expecting price to push up higher to stop these people out, right? Because whoever entered the sells here, because people entered sells here, that's for sure. Like people entered sells here, their stop loss would have been placed right there. And if we got a buy here, I would have been okay to take that buy for that small 100 pips because I'd be riding the momentum to their stop loss because they're going to get stopped out up here. I would have caught at least like 100 pips there before it, it ended. So that's why I was kind of inclined to take a buy there. But I mean, we haven't gotten the entry, so there wouldn't be anything for us to take to begin with. Yeah, exactly. Patrick said, yep, there's a wick through 29,284. I could see a small push, and that's exactly what I was looking for. I'm just using these confluences as better confirmation, right? I'm basically using their stop loss against them. I'm using it to my advantage. So I can see where their stop loss is likely set. And what I'm doing is I'm writing it to their stop loss because that's going to lead to a stop loss hunt, right? So they get stopped out. Perfect. Sucks for them, better for us because we'll still make our profit and they're going to get stopped out. And then as soon as you pull out in profit, it's going to come right back down. So it's like I was saying before, guys, it's like playing chess. You have to like anticipate the next move. If you get an entry at this point, so for example, if we get a buy entry at this point, you have to know where price is likely to go and hit, right? Price is likely to go and hit this area because this is where their stop losses are sitting above this high. So if I can catch at least 100 pips from here until there, I'm going to swoop in and take my 100 pips, let them get stopped out because as soon as it hits my 100 pips, you got to make sure to pull because if you don't, it's going to come right back down. So what we're doing is we're predicting what's going to happen next. My anticipation is that eventually it's going to push up here and stop them out because they've already stopped them out over here. When price was at this point, that's only one phase. They need to stop them out a second time and a third time before they drop price. So I'm not expecting price to dump until maybe a couple more tests up here. So it's just, it's an advanced way of trading. Not everyone's going to really understand this because everyone's taught to trade one way or, a couple ways that are very similar to everybody else. But what I do is I do the opposite. So I try to identify where everybody's trading. I see a double top here, a triple top, right? I see a triple top right here. When I see this, the average trader is going to look for a sell, right? You see a triple top here. If you saw this normally, let me see if I go here on the clean chart. I'm just going to clean this up because this is like kind of pointless now at this point. So this is what I see. I'm going to identify what I see from everyone else's point of view. So what I see right here is people are identifying this as a triple top, right? But I'm doing the opposite. If everyone's looking to take sells here, I'm actually looking to take buys because while people are looking to sell at this point, I'm going to outsmart them and I'm going to write it to their stop loss because their stop losses are sitting right here, right? Whoever entered to sell at this point, stop loss is sitting right there. TP's like down here, it's never going to hit, or it might hit at some point, but you can see that their stop loss is going to get hit right there, right? So that's where I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to catch my 100 pips within this little area because I just need my 100 pips. I don't care about the 1,000 pips, 500 pips, whatever pips you're going to move around here. I want to catch my little 100 pips here so I can lock in another 1,000, right? So again, right here, this is another fake out. I don't expect this to keep dropping. This is a 4 test right here. It's tested at 1, 2, 3, 4 times, right? What do you think is going to happen here? The same people who are in this position are starting to get antsy, right? Because they're like, okay, they started to get a little squirmy because price was pushing up here deep in a drawdown. What happened at this point now is that more people are going to enter right here, right? So this is going to be another wave of people chasing the sell here. That's not going to happen. I can almost guarantee price is going to push up here. At some point today, price is going to push up here and it's going to stop all these people out. They're just churning in more buyers into this area because the sentiment here is, or, you know, some people are starting to trade opposite sentiment like we do. But I think eventually at some point, price is going to push up and just stop all these people out. But then eventually it's going to come down. So it'll push up real quick, spike up, stop everybody out. And then it's just going to come crashing all the way down and just melt back to opening price. So that's just my view on it. I mean, you guys can have whatever take you guys want on it, but if you guys are asking from, you know, my, and you can see right here that there's liquidity that's already built up. So there's liquidity right here. This is an even more reason for it to come up and knock out all of those stop losses. So we got liquidity established right here. Once price reaches this point, it's going to spike up to here. And then it'll just come right back down. Might even test this last area of liquidity. So it's 8 o'clock, guys. Unfortunately, we did not have any trades this week. It's pretty crazy because we typically have at least like a few trades this week, but there were no official trades this week. I was really waiting for this buy to come here, but we just never got it, at least not yet. Yeah, Patrick said, people forget when you're a scalper, it's about small, consistent moves within the big play. Sometimes the small move will run to a bigger profits, but most of the time, get in and get out is much safer and lucrative. Exactly, Patrick. So, you know, a lot of people don't really understand the way that I trade because everyone's so used to trading intraday or swing trading, but it just doesn't fit my trading style, right? If scalping is not for you, then I don't recommend forcing it on yourself. If you're traditionally, or if you know that you're good at intraday trading and swing trading, then you should focus on mastering that. But from my experience trading, I've been trading for 11 years. I found scalping to be the least risky because you're in and out of the markets super quickly. All right, let me see if this closes as a moderate green candle. Be a possible entry before we call it a week. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. Just hoping it doesn't push up too high, which of course it did, or it's going to. And damn. So my analysis here played out perfect. Everyone here who took a sell just got stopped out. The candle here is too big though, so I can't take this for an entry. But yeah, the analysis there played out pretty nicely. So I can't take the trade here, unfortunately. Or I mean, it's too late. Technically, this could have been one that we could have taken, but I'm not going to risk it. So I'll let it pull down a little bit. Maybe I'll make a late entry. So I'm going to let it pull down a little bit. If it pulls down to this area here, as it pushes back up, maybe I'll put a buy stop there and you guys can do the same, but I'm not going to enter it just yet because this could be a fake out right here. It already hit their stop losses, so price might be coming on its way back down. So what I'll do right here is I'll place a buy stop, and if price pushes up, I'll probably just ride it for a late entry, and I'll probably just continue, take this as my only trade for this week. See if it pushes back up. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to cancel it. Just going to set an alert here to let me know if and when it hits. So it already hit me out. I don't know what happened, but I guess there was slippage. It pulled me in and then it gave me 1,100 profit. Weird. I don't know if anyone else took it, but It already hit my TP. That was weird. Huh. My MFFs didn't even take it. Oh, actually, it did. So all my accounts actually took it. It took it and then it pulled me out in profit already. Brian got in, got out. I don't know if there's slippage going on or whatever, but I'm already out of the position, guys. I'll take a screenshot of my profits. That was weird. Yeah. It pulled me in early, I guess, and then it pulled me out in profit already. Super quick. Not bad for Friday. I mean, either way, it would have hit your TP again right there. So if you guys took it, you guys should have pulled out already in profit. I don't know if it's because of the spread or whatnot, but they already pushed right through it. So let me just, there you go, full TP off it. So if you guys took it, great. Closing the week with at least one trade. That was all I wanted for this week. I'll should send you guys my profits real quick too. So I'll give it a quick little update here. So if you guys waited and were patient, you guys took the trade with us, great, because you guys have your one trade for the week at least. Blasted right through it right there. And it did exactly what my analysis played out to be, right? I mentioned that these people are going to get stopped out. And I pretty much did opposite of everybody else. Everyone tried to trade the quadruple top over here. I did the opposite. I waited to shoot up to their stop loss and I made money off it. So nice work. Jonathan grabbed some profit off that. Brian got some profit off that. Great work, guys. If you guys have profit to post up, feel free to post them up. I'm going to post up this here as well. And we're closing out this week on a great note. Shitty week overall, but we still locked in at least some profit and no losses for this week. So that's the main thing. The main thing here is that we have the consistency, right? That's the main thing that I want to get across to you guys. If you guys can stay consistent, then great. Yeah, MFF kind of screwed me too, Marco. I'll show you guys my profits right now. Just give me a second. Yeah, both of my so my MFF number 3 got more profit than my MFF number 1 and 2. And I'll take a screenshot of it to show you guys. So I'm glad I stayed on for a few minutes longer because typically I'm off like right at 8. I'll try to stay on a little longer if I can, or if I feel like the market's okay. But for the most part, yeah, we're gonna call it a week here. Pretty good. My FTMO screwed me over too, actually, a little bit on my second trade. I'll show you guys. I don't know if there was slippage or what, but that thing hit my TP super quick, and then it pulled me out right away. Here is my TFF as well. It looks like all my accounts kind of, I don't know, I got to check my MFF to see what it locked me out at. I think the execution times were just off because the move happened so quickly. So MFF number 1. Yeah, it did kind of screw me over here. I'll show you guys right now. Just give me one moment. MFF number 2. Yeah, it's slightly different profit. All right, so let me post this up really quick. So let me see. FTMO, FTMO, TFF. Okay. So here's my FTMO, second FTMO, TFF, MFF number 1, MFF number 2, and MFF number 3. Okay, so here are my profits on that trade that we just took. You can see the green strips here because I let it hit full TP. I just entered the trade, let it hit full TP. Perfect profits right here, lined up perfectly. Same profits for both trades. They both hit full TP. Here's my FTMO copier. Obviously, some slippage there. I made 710. I was supposed to make 1,000, 110. MFF over here as well. I locked in 800. Supposed to be 1,000. My second MFF. Actually, no, this is my TFF. TFF, I locked in 800. I'll just have at least 1,000. My MFF number 1, I made 710. I'm supposed to make 1,000 as well. MFF number 2, 860, supposed to make 1,000. And then my third MFF, 710. So yeah, it's killing me too, Marco, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? I'll take what they give me. All right, locked in. Live session to close out the trading week. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up for the week. Thankfully, we had at least one trade. You know, I hate closing out the week without at least giving you guys at least one official trade, right? We had a couple speculative trades. We had the breakout yesterday and whatnot, but today we had our only official trade for the week. You know, the weeks aren't typically like this. Usually it picks up as we get into the fall, but with the recession going on and stuff like that, it's just not necessarily a good time to be forcing these trades. So we waited, we were patient. This trade played out perfect criteria, and then I entered late. So this trade actually came up right here. I waited a little bit for it to play out, and then I entered right here when price came back up. So solid profits there. If you guys made profits, feel free to post them up in the group. I'll add them to the postings for later. Yeah, I think that might be about it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we will be closing out this trading week with net positive profits. So scrolling up real quick, let's see Scotty over here as well. Nice work, Scotty. Scotty locked in a total profit of 685. Great work right there, Scotty. And his second account over here, 1,610. Great work, Scotty, all around. So great profit so far, guys. I mean, if you guys have any more profits, post up. I mean, a lot of you guys posted some pretty good profits so far throughout the day. So I think we should be pretty solid. But I think that's about it. So just adding up my profits, I just want to show you guys the you know, the ability for you guys to make big profits just scalping, because a lot of people don't like scalping because they don't understand it. But if you guys can do this, so I have multiple accounts, 2,200 off this one, 2,470 off this one, 2,641 on this one, 1,970 on this one, 2,120 on this one, and 1,970 on this one. So this is just from 2 trades today, right? I just took 2 trades with you guys today. This was all done live, like literally live on the live session. I did the analysis. I showed the entries. I took the entries. I showed the profits right after. You know, this is what's possible, guys. Like a lot of people think that you have to swing trade or you have to intraday trade. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't have to be on the charts all day. I see people, and it's crazy because people will be on the charts from like London session up until New York. So they're up for like 12 hours. And I'm like, that's not good for your health, right? I used to do that too. And it's not really, you know, it's not sustainable. You can do that for like maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, but your body's going to get tired and you're not going to be able to stay focused during those 2 sessions. So if scalping is for you, this is the possibility you guys can have, even if you just had 1 account, right? This is 5 accounts, or what, 6 accounts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts. You can start with 1 account, and then once you get better, you know, add on another account, and then add on another account, and then add on another account. That's what I did. You know, next step, I'm probably going to add some more TFF accounts so I could have 600 allocation on that account too. And this is what's possible, you know. So if you guys can just focus for 1 hour a day, 6:30 to 8 with us here on the live, that's literally all you need. And you can even just make this much. This much is not bad. If you can do this, you know, maybe like twice a week. So you got like 2 trading days that are good. Most of the time you're going to have at least like 5 trading days. But if you do this twice a week times 4, It's like 17,000 a month. That's most than like what most people make, right? You multiply it by 12, that's 213,000 a year, making like consistent profits every single week. So I'm just showing you guys the bigger picture here, long-term goal. And if you guys want to trade with us and maximize this, then the opportunity's there. So all right, guys, other than that, I think that's it. I don't see any other questions here. I just want to give you guys a breakdown as to like what entries we took, what's the possibilities of making profit on this. Depending on your lot size, you're probably not going to make as much as what I did, but if you have a 200K account, this is what you're looking at. Obviously, if you're doing a 100K account, half of this, 50K account, half of that, but you'll grow from there. So other than that, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a great weekend, be safe, and I'll be back here same time, same place on Monday as we kick off NFP week. Next week's going to be kind of crazy, so just keep that in mind. But I'm going to be ready for some pretty quick movements to hop into trades as we open up the week for October week 1. Sorry, guys. Have a